How's it going, Bears fans? Welcome back to Bear Down Uncut. We have some breaking news in Chicago. Per Ian Rappaport, safeties coach Sean Desai has been hired as the Bears' new defensive coordinator. And also per Adam Johns, Bears have spoke to Deuce Staley as a potential role on Matt Nagy's staff. He's been with the Eagles since 2013. We're not sure on that hiring, but the main hiring right now, Sean Desai, who has been with the Bears since 2013. Formerly the safeties coach, has been chosen and hired as the defensive coordinator. My name is Zach Rimbos. I'm the head editor and video producer here at Beared Down. I am joined with my co-hosts Parth and Jaylen. Parth and Jaylen, how are you guys doing?
Doing pretty good. Just getting out the news to my page and stuff right now. But a great hire for Chicago. We're going to talk about it. But yeah, I'm excited to talk about this hire.
Yeah, same here. I definitely feel like this could be the breaker make move for this team, especially because of how underperforming our defense was with Chuck Pagano. So, definitely excited to talk about this move. And yeah, that's about it. I haven't recorded with you guys lately, so it feels good to be back.
It's been a minute. We haven't updated you guys a lot. We've been pretty busy with school and all of that and work and whatnot, so we apologize for that. But just to refresh everybody's memory in case you missed this as well, Jay Rodgers is gone. He went to the Chargers yesterday along with Bears running back coach Charles London. So there's a few players or a few coaches there. And I think
Dave went to the Falcons.
Yeah, Dave went to. So two coaches went to the Falcons, and then Jay Rodgers went to the Chargers. So the Bears have a couple of positions that they're going to have to fill this offseason, but people are overacting about that a lot more than they should be. The Bears have an opportunity here. Matt Nagy has an opportunity to bring in his own regime and potentially switch around the Bears for this season. It could be very good. It's like Jaylen said, this is the make or break for the Chicago Bears this season. It can either go really good or really bad. A whole new coaching staff, practically, other than offensive coordinator and head coach, of course. But it's going to be very interesting. And Sean Desai, players have a lot of praise for him, man. It's been, ever since this news broke, which was per Ian Rappaport, which was like 8 minutes ago. They've shown full support and they've backed Sean Desai for a long time. Like I said before, he was the former safeties coach, or formerly was a safeties coach, as in last year for the Chicago Bears since 2013. So we could see a lot of changes in defense this year. This could be a very, very big change up for the defense. It could potentially make players like Eddie Jackson better. Deshaun Gibson probably still going to be with the Bears in 2021. We'll see how that goes. But it could change a lot with how this defense plays. Potentially, it could be a great refresher for this defense. Parth and Jaylen, though, why don't you guys go into what you guys think? What do you think? Do you think this will improve the defense in 2021? And how big is it that the Bears get some fresh, coaching back there at defensive coordinator?
No, this is huge for the Bears. I think Chuck Pagano definitely struggled with scheming with the Bears. This Bears defense had a big decline after Vic Fangio left. Vic Fangio was here. We saw this defense opportunistic, able to get turnovers, and it was creating perfect ways to. I guess it was, scheming their coverage in a way that the quarterbacks. It made it hard for quarterbacks to understand. And with Chuck Pagano, the schemes been exposed. Offenses have been able to score 30+ points on us, especially with the talent with the Chicago Bears. Guys like Khalil Mack, Eddie Jackson, Kyle Fuller, Akeem Hicks. It shouldn't be happening. Roquan Smith, how could I forget him? But that can't happen. So hopefully Sean Desai can come in, use Vic Fangio's scheme that he had a big say in, I guess, and craft up another big run at this defense, that this defense can be a really good defense that he can lead, I guess.
I definitely think it was an interesting move. Obviously my first choice was Jay Rodgers, and obviously when he left for the Chargers yesterday, I knew it was going to be between him or somebody, outside the organization, but I definitely think this could be definitely a solid move. I remember Sam Moncho, former Bears player, he's talking about how that was the right guy for us. He's been in the organization for this is 8 years now. Stuck through 3 head coaches, multiple defensive coordinators. So obviously he's doing something right. Like you said, he's the safeties coach, so he's been the coach of Eddie Jackson, who's an All-Pro. I know he's playing. I know he had a down years last year, but I still think because that he's playing the wrong position. I feel like we need to put him back at free safety, and hopefully with Sean Desai as our defensive coordinator, now he realizes that, especially because he was coaching him. We obviously seen him do something with Adrian Amos. We made him a very solid safety. Now he's in Green Bay, and he made a lot of money in free agency last season. We've seen him turn DHC into a solid rotational piece. He had a very solid season this year, and he's was drafted as a special teams ace. So he's definitely been able to change this whole secondary room. Secondary, not the secondary. Could have been the best part of our team this year, especially with how bad our front seven. Was playing. So definitely think it's a very solid move. I definitely want to see how he uses this defense, especially because I can see a lot of our the key defensive players not being on the team next year due to cap casualty. So definitely want to see how he uses this, and definitely excited to see what he can do.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying, oh, well, he did a great job with Eddie Jackson last year, but you have to realize and you have to put into into account that Chuck Pagano's defense was certainly a lot different for Eddie Jackson. Lined up in the box a lot more than he should have, and definitely did not play in his natural position at free safety. And that's partially to Sean Gibson. I think the both of them, I think Amos was the guy who Eddie Jackson worked the best with. Amos is the guy that helped Eddie play in that natural position. But like you guys said, man, Sean Desai, he's got a lot of talent on this team. Eddie Jackson, obviously, a later round pick in the fourth round, and he's a stud. And he was, in 2018, definitely one of the best safeties. This past year, he's seen some aggression, but I still don't think he's been that poor. He's been missing a couple of tackles here and there, but I really think that Sean Desai has a real chance here to utilize the talent that he has on this team, and hopefully improve some players that you'd like to see that take that next step. We're not sure what's going to happen with Robert Quinn, but I'm not sure what's going to happen there. But there's some other pieces on this team where you could see some improvement, and Sean Desai could definitely be a factor of that. So it'll be very interesting to see how he's calling plays for this Bears defense, and how big of a step this Bears defense can take. Obviously, and not much success this past season in the second half of the season, but the first half of the season got off to a really good start. 2019, the Bears defense was still top notch, top 10 easily. And the Bears have a chance this season if they want to, if Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace want to retain their jobs. And hopefully we won't have to clean house, and they're going to have to do very well this season with a very tough schedule ahead of them, a very stacked schedule against some great playoff teams. They're going to have to look to be able to shut down those offenses, as well as hopefully the offense takes a big step as well. But Sean Desai, an in-house candidate, he's been looked at ever since the Bears' defensive coordinator position was open, since Pagano retired. And Sean Desai, Jay Rodgers, and James Betcher were pretty much the three main names that the Bears were looking at. So they went with an in-house guy, which I was expecting as well. I figured it would be between Jay Rodgers and Sean Desai. It really does suck that we lost Jay Rodgers. He was one of the Fangio said he was one of the most touted guys in the Bears defense. But Sean Desai, again, in-house candidate. I think I knew this was one of the options, and I'm sure Matt Nagy likes his guys' personnel a lot, so he went with Sean Desai. I'm not too mad about the move. I really hope it pans out for the Bears defense, and especially for Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace's jobs. They're going to have to expect that this team is going to have to take a huge jump in 2021. But Parth and Jaylen, do you guys see Eddie Jackson taking that next step next season? And do you see a couple of other players potentially stepping up under Sean Desai's lead?
Oh, let me answer.
Definitely do.
All right, so I don't think necessarily he can take the next step because we've already seen the next step, for Eddie Jackson, which is an All-Pro. I guess the next step would be in defensive player conversations, but the play he plays, and Aaron Donald still being in the league, and a lot of up and coming guys, I don't see that him being in that conversation unless he has an amazing season. But him just going back to his natural position at free safety, letting him scour the quarterback side and see what he's trying to do and basically intercept it. is what I'm expecting from Eddie Jackson next season. Hopefully, Sean Desai can put him back in that position to be that player. And maybe we bring in a natural strong safety, whether it's in the draft or the free agency class. I know that's going to be difficult because we already don't have that much cap to begin with, and I'm pretty sure the cap is going to go down because of a lot of fans not being in NFL stadiums on most teams. So, but I definitely feel like he can go back to his natural self. Maybe he can be an All-Pro again if he put in that right position to be Eddie Jackson and not put him in the box because he's already not a very good tackler. He's showed that these last 2 seasons that tackling is not one of his strength, and that's being that free safety, and being able to come across the field and get interceptions and pass deflection and stuff like that.
Parth?
Yeah, I don't think the Bears could have hired a better guy. Sam Mako, one dude who was super pumped about this hire. He's been talking about it all week. How the Bears should hire Sean Desai. For me, it was between Sean Desai or Jay Rodgers. I thought you got to keep one of those guys. Brandon Staley and Vic Fangio both, worked with these guys. All 4 were great together. So I knew this move could have happened. But it's great to see this. Especially as a brown man. Indian man, say another guy like Sean Desai getting in the football world like this as a defensive coordinator is a big step for us, and I think that's super sick as well.
Yeah, but we're gonna wrap it up here, guys. But this is some big news for Chicago. Like I said, this is pretty much the make or break season for the Bears, especially that front office as well, and definitely at the head coach position, you would assume. So that this is a huge teller of the 2021 season. A lot of people are backing Sean Desai. Obviously Chuck Pagano we liked that hiring going in, and it just didn't pan out. But you'd hope Sean Desai can turn things around and hopefully get this defense back to where it was in 2018 or 2019 as well. But that'll pretty much do it for us, guys. Parth and Jaylen, last words.
Bear down. That's about it.
Yeah, bear down. It's been a weird couple of weeks for us. We haven't been recording as much, but there has been much to record. But this is a big hire for the Bears, and hopefully, bear down.
Yeah, I think the beginning of the offseason is a little weird, especially we have just started college back up again, and Chris is not here at the moment, but I think he'll be back for tomorrow and getting back on that regular schedule. We should hope, but that'll pretty much do it for us, guys. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, please go down below, subscribe, like, and share it with a friend. We post Bears content as much as we can, usually every day or every other day of the week. But we're really appreciative of you guys. We're going to keep grinding out despite what's going on. And stay safe, everybody, and make sure to bear down. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.